You are here today because something guided you, not chance, not a random moment of scrolling. Something deeper moved you toward this message at exactly this time. There are moments in life when the heart grows quiet, when it slows down and begins to fill with a kind of heaviness you cannot fully explain. And even in that heaviness, somewhere in that still, private place where your real truth lives, you have already felt the answer. You already know it. You have known it for a while. What you are about to receive is not just content or information. It is a direct energetic response to the question you have been asking quietly, in the corners of your mind, sometimes for days and sometimes for weeks. Today you will finally reach the exact point where your deepest inner feeling meets the reality you have been waiting for. Stay with this, keep reading, because this message was shaped for you specifically. You have sensed a connection with someone that goes far beyond what logic can hold, a pull, a bond, something magnetic and wordless, and in your most vulnerable moments, you told yourself it was probably just wishful thinking, a fantasy your heart invented to escape loneliness. But I am going to tell you something today with complete certainty. This love you have felt, this wave of electricity that moves through your body when this person enters your thoughts, this feeling of having known them long before you actually met, that is not something you made up. It is not imagination. It is not a story you built to protect yourself from emptiness. There are clear and unmistakable signs pointing toward a truth you have been afraid to fully believe, because you have been hurt before. Today, that fear begins to lose its grip. It does not matter if this person has gone quieter lately. It does not matter if they have pulled back, or if the distance between you feels heavier than usual. Do not rush past this part. That silence carries meaning. When two souls share a connection that moves at a frequency higher than everyday relationships, the universe confirms it in ways that reach your spirit long before your mind catches up. That is exactly why you are still here right now. You needed something that was not just empty reassurance. You needed a confirmation that vibrates at the same level as what you have been feeling inside. Sometimes we exhaust ourselves trying to analyze feelings that were never meant to be understood through logic alone. They were always meant to be felt, to be lived, to be trusted. What you are experiencing right now is not emotional instability. It is not unhealthy fixation or obsessive thinking. What you are moving through is the exact process that every soul goes through when a love that is bigger than ordinary life enters their world. A love that does not fit inside the old boxes. A love that breaks the ceiling of surface-level connection and asks you to go deeper than you have ever gone before. You are standing at the beginning of a recognition between two souls who chose each other long before this lifetime began. And that recognition can feel terrifying, even when it also feels like home. Here is something the universe wants you to carry with you today. Your doubts are not proof that this love is absent. They are proof of something else entirely. They are the echoes of old wounds that never fully healed. When someone arrives with the energy of a true and rare love, when they look at you in a way that reaches past your surface and touches something raw and real, old pain wakes up. Your inner defenses activate automatically, because what this person brings feels unfamiliar. It feels too big, and the part of you trained by past betrayals whispers that anything this beautiful is likely to end in loss. That whisper is not truth. It is fear wearing the costume of wisdom. Your soul recognizes this person instantly. It feels like looking into a mirror, like meeting a part of yourself you forgot existed. But your mind, built to avoid danger and protect you from breaking, immediately begins to build walls. That is why you have spent nights awake, asking yourself if any of this is real, if they feel what you feel, or if you are simply falling apart from the inside. Comment 111 if you have been feeling this exact kind of pull and cannot explain why you keep coming back to it, no matter how many times you try to let go. Because that is the other thing. You have tried to walk away. You have told yourself to stop, to move on, to protect yourself. And something always pulls you back, every single time. Not weakness, not emotional dependency, not pride refusing to let go. What pulls you back is the shared vibration of two souls that the universe has quietly aligned. It does not ask for permission. It does not follow logic. It simply is. You have stared at the sky asking for a sign. You have closed your eyes and hoped for clarity. And signs did appear, but they felt too small, too easy to dismiss, too subtle to trust completely. But today you are going to understand that the subtle signs are the real ones. The glance that lasted a second too long. The message that seemed casual on the surface but carried a weight underneath it. The shift in your own energy, the moment this person enters your thoughts. True love that comes from a soul level does not always announce itself with grand gestures. Often, especially in its earliest form, it speaks through silence, a silence that is heavier and more honest than 1,000 words, a silence that says I see you without ever opening its mouth. Type yes if you want the full confirmation that what you are feeling is not one-sided. Here is what life is asking you to understand today. This person is not confused about their feelings for you. The one who has been confused is you. And not because you are fragile or broken, but because this love arrived at a time when you were still learning how to stand in your own strength, and its intensity frightened you before you even had a chance to welcome it. When someone carrying the energy of genuine love steps into your life, they do not disrupt you to harm you. They disrupt you to wake you up, to move you toward healing, to shake loose the old stories you have been carrying about what love is and what you deserve from it. This inner disruption can feel like fear. It can feel like anxiety, but you must understand that this fear is not born from a lack of love. It is born from the sheer power of what is walking toward you. This person looks at you, even from across a room or across days of silence, with a kindness they cannot fully conceal, with a softness that only exists in someone whose heart has already made its choice quietly without announcement. You may have thought recently that they were pulling away for good, that the silence meant they had stopped caring, that the distance was a slow goodbye, but the universe did not guide you to this moment to hand you another incomplete story. When a bond operates at a higher frequency, it does not break because of human confusion or temporary emotional withdrawal. What is meant to stay stays, even through unanswered messages, even through weeks of quiet, even through the moments when you come closest to giving up. So why does it feel so chaotic if it is truly real? Because real love does not arrive to leave you comfortable and unchanged. It arrives to transform you, to clear out what is false, to demand that you grow in ways you have been avoiding. The chaos you feel is not a warning. It is a sign of something old inside you, dissolving, so that something truer can rise in its place. And one day, when the silence lifts and the distance closes, you will look back at every moment of confusion and understand that it was building you into someone capable of holding this love without flinching. The answer you keep searching for is not somewhere out there. It lives inside the quiet struggle happening right now between your fear and your knowing. If you are ready to receive that understanding, stay open, because what comes next will shift something in you that has needed shifting for a very long time. The deepest reason you feel so torn, even while part of you already knows the truth, is one of the oldest inner conflicts that exists. The constant tension between the fearful voice of the ego and the calm, steady wisdom of your true self. Your ego is the part of you shaped by old pain, old rejections, and the lessons you learned from people who were not careful with your heart. It has one job: keep you safe. So when this connection arrived, your ego treated it like a threat immediately. Because real love, the kind that comes from deep soul alignment, asks you to be fully open, to be seen without armor, to stop hiding behind expectations and carefully built distance. And your ego, still carrying the bruises of the past, started shouting, "Be careful, this is too much, this will hurt you. Run first." But beneath that shouting, there is a different voice, quieter, steadier, unshakable, and that voice has been whispering the whole time that this is real, that this person is real, that what you feel between you is not something your mind invented. Learning to hear that quiet voice over the noise of fear is one of the most important things you will ever do. The doubts your ego throws at you always feel urgent. They show up as a tightness in your stomach, as the compulsion to check for messages, as the desperate need for proof that you are not being fooled. The ego says if they have not reached out by now, it means they do not care. If they did not say exactly what you needed to hear, they must be drifting away. This kind of thinking is heavy. It drains you. It creates a loop that feeds itself and gets louder the more you listen to it. The voice of genuine inner knowing is the opposite of all of that. It feels like a deep settling, like a calm that holds steady even when your mind is spinning, even when the doubts are loudest. Something in your chest stays quiet and certain. That peace is your clearest signal. That peace beneath the storm is not passivity or denial. It is the recognition of something that is truly aligned with your path. When you feel it, even briefly, you are not lying to yourself. You are touching something real. And that is the feeling you need to return to, again and again, when the noise tries to take over. If you have been laying awake wondering whether you are making this all up, that calm inside you already knows the answer. Look honestly at your emotional history. If you were abandoned before, or had your trust broken, your ego learned a rule: protect yourself first. It will project that old pain onto every new situation, no matter how different the circumstances actually are. So when this person goes quiet, or seems distant, your ego immediately translates it through the lens of that old wound. It says this is the same, this will end the same way, but that is not what is happening. You are not truly doubting this person's love. You are doubting your own ability to hold something this powerful without it destroying you, and that is your actual lesson here. This connection was placed in your life, not only to give you love, but to bring you face to face with your deepest fear, which is the fear that you are not worthy of something that lasts. Every time fear rises and every time the ego tries to sabotage the bond, you are being given a direct invitation to heal something old. When you meet that fear with calm instead of panic, you take away its power. You break a cycle that has repeated itself across your entire emotional life. This love is acting like a light that illuminates what has been hidden in the dark for far too long. And no matter how many times you have tried to walk away, you always come back. That force is not something to be ashamed of. It is not weakness or inability to let go. It is the shared pull of two energies that the universe quietly locked together. Even when you block it with logic, even when you fight it with the part of you that wants to be unbothered, it remains, like a compass that keeps pointing home no matter which direction you try to face. But the question that keeps surfacing still demands an answer. If the connection is this strong, why does this person seem so far away? Why the silence? Why the distance? The answer is this: this person is your mirror. Their arrival awakened everything inside them that still needs healing, just as it did for you. The bond between you is so deep that it reaches their most sensitive, most unprotected places. And for a mind that craves control, that kind of depth can feel overwhelming. So the distance is not absence of love. It is self-protection from the enormity of what they feel when you are near. Share this with someone who needs to hear it right now. This is what many call the pattern of the runner and the one who stays. The person you love is not running from you. They are running from the size of what they feel. They pull back because the love itself frightens them, because it touches wounds in them that have never fully closed. Old fears of not being enough, of losing themselves completely, of surrendering to something that might one day leave them hollow. Their silence is not a signal that they stopped caring. It is a pause, a moment of internal reorganization as they try to make sense of the storm your presence has stirred in them. And often when you feel that pull to chase, to reach out and fix and explain and prove, that energy pushes them further. The chasing creates pressure, and the pressure creates more distance. This is where one of the most powerful and most difficult truths of this kind of connection comes in. You cannot draw them closer by pursuing them. You draw them closer by returning to yourself. When you stop waiting and start living. When you fill yourself back up, and stop measuring your worth by their response. That shift in your energy is felt by them immediately, even without a single word exchanged. The space between you becomes safe again, and the pull toward you grows stronger than any message you could have sent. This time apart is not punishment, it is preparation. The universe is using this space to refine both of you separately, so that when you meet again, you are not two incomplete people holding on to each other out of fear. You are two people who chose healing, who faced their shadows, and who now come together from a place of genuine wholeness. While you are working through your own healing, they are working through theirs, often without even realizing that is what is happening. Old patterns are surfacing in them too. Old walls are being shown for what they are. The universe is guiding them, just as it is guiding you, toward the version of themselves that is ready to hold something real. This is not a fairy tale. This is the actual mechanics of how deep and lasting love gets built. Not through perfect timing or effortless ease, but through two people becoming individually strong enough to sustain something extraordinary together. Every day you choose your own peace over anxious waiting. You are contributing to the foundation of what this love is becoming. If this message is reaching something deep inside you right now, comment resonates below. The strongest proof that this connection is real does not come from grand declarations or dramatic moments. It lives in the quiet details. The way their eyes stay on your face a moment longer than necessary. The way a seemingly ordinary conversation with them feels weighted with something unspoken. The way silence between you does not feel uncomfortable but full, as if the air itself is carrying something neither of you has found words for yet. These are not accidents. They are the language of two souls communicating beneath the surface of ordinary interaction. And then there are the synchronicities, the song that starts playing and immediately makes you think of them, the color, the scent, the image that appears out of nowhere and carries their presence with it. These are not coincidences your mind is manufacturing. These are the universe threading reminders through your daily life that you are connected to something real. Energy does not respect distance. It does not care about silence or time zones or the number of days since you last spoke. Your souls continue to communicate regardless of what is happening on the surface. The warmth that rises in your chest without explanation, the sudden calm that settles over you in a random moment, these are echoes. They are real. The vivid dreams are real too. When you see this person in a dream that feels more alive and more honest than waking life, that is not your sleeping mind replaying obsessive thoughts. In sleep, the ego rests, the defenses lower, and souls connect with a freedom they rarely get to experience while conscious. Those dream encounters carry genuine information. They offer comfort and clarity that waking life has not yet been able to provide. Waking up at an unusual hour with their name already in your mind is another signal. It happens because in that moment they are thinking of you with unusual intensity, and that energy reaches you even across the distance. This is resonance. This is what it feels like when two energy fields remain tuned to the same frequency regardless of physical proximity. Stop calling these things coincidences. Stop rationalizing them away. Begin to see them for what they truly are. Messages from a source that does not use words. Quiet confirmations that you are not alone in this, and that even in silence, you remain present in each other's awareness in ways that cannot be manufactured or faked. Now that the fog of doubt is beginning to thin, it is time to talk about what you can actively do with this understanding. Doubt is not just an emotion. It is an energetic signal. When you doubt, you broadcast lack. You send out a frequency that says, "I do not trust what is coming," and that frequency slows the very thing you are hoping to receive. Replacing doubt with calm certainty is not about pretending everything is already perfect. It is about choosing trust as a practice. It is about saying quietly and firmly, "I know what is real even when I cannot see it fully yet." In that choice, something shifts. You stop gripping and start allowing. You stop measuring and start trusting. And that shift is felt far beyond what words can carry. You do not need a complicated ritual or a perfect emotional state to make this work. You need a genuine decision made from the center of your being. A decision to release the need to control the outcome, to stop calculating every possible scenario, and to simply let what is real find its natural path back to you. When you make that choice, you remove the weight from the connection. You open a door that fear had been holding shut, and love, which has always been moving toward you, finally has a clear path forward. You are now stepping into what might be the most important and most misunderstood part of this entire journey, which is the phase of conscious preparation. A love this deep does not arrive to simply make your days brighter or give you someone to spend time with. It comes to transform you at the level of your understanding. It comes to show you who you are when you are no longer performing for someone else's approval, when you are no longer shrinking yourself to fit inside someone else's comfort zone, when you are no longer settling for a version of love that only asks for the easy parts of you. The universe is precise. It would not bring two souls together who are not ready to hold what they are being given. See this space between you as the final stage of refinement. Each of you is being prepared separately so that what you build together can withstand the weight of real life and real love. The cracks you are healing right now are not weaknesses. They are the places where your future love will rest without breaking through. Every moment you choose courage over fear. Every time you return to your own center instead of collapsing into waiting, you are becoming the person this love needs you to be. And on the other side of this distance, so are they. Like this video if you felt every word of this in your body and not just in your mind.